Okay, first round. You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Bring it on. Come on.
Monson, Cormier, and speaking of Monson, he told us he was a decent college wrestler. He knows he won't be able to take down the two-time Olympian in Cormier.
Well, if that's the case, it could be a long night then for Monson, because in order for him, I think, to win this fight, the former Abu Dhabi submission wrestling champion, a guy who has 26 submission wins out of his 42 victories, Frank, he has to find a way to take Cormier down.
He's got to find a way, but he can jump to the guard. I mean, there's a ton of ways to get this fight down. But as soon as he gets it down, he's got to literally start chaining those holds together.
In his last fight, we saw marked improvement in Cormier striking, going the distance for the first time in his young career against Devin Cole. And I think he has the striking advantage against a guy, again, a diminutive heavyweight in the 5'9" Jeff Monson.
Cormier also saying that this is a huge step up for him, taking on the fighter of the caliber of Jeff Monson.
And Monson's got 53 fights. Monson did a real good job of clinching last time and kneeing that thigh, and I think that's a real good strategy for him. He can't stay at the end of the punches of Daniel Cormier.
Some effective counter-striking in the early going from Cormier, again representing American Kickboxing Academy, a school you know very well, Frank, and truly we are seeing the evolution of a mixed martial artist.
And Monson's got ways to get this down. He could also kick and leave himself vulnerable to a punch that he could fall back and take him down.
Monson once vied for the UFC heavyweight title, falling to Tim Sylvia's got 19-5 since then.
And a cut on the top of Monson's head.
And he's riding an 8-fight win streak. Coming into this, his Strikeforce debut.
This is not a bad position for Monson, but he's got to do some short shots on the inside and keep those knees working. He can't let Daniel stay tight in there.
And Monson doing what he had to do, disengaging and striking.
Cormier showing a nice right hand, very quick. Now trying to put his combinations together as Monson backs up,
and he's beginning to mark Monson's face up. Beating him to the punch, has the height and reach advantage. Mixing in those kicks as well.
But Jeff Monson's making a small mistake on the stand-up. He's walking into the power of Cormier.
Now he's in the southpaw stance.
He's got to keep stepping here to his right and getting out of the way of that power. Cormier loading up that right hand. He's very confident with it now.
Cormier telling us that he's throwing a lot more straighter punches, more confident. Ooh, nice left hook
by Cormier as he showed him the right hand. And you're right, Morrow. Cormier mixing up both his punches and his kicks.
Beautiful body kick delivered there by the former two-time Olympic wrestler.
Daniel Cormier, another right hand gets through.
Nice 1-2 combo there.
Was a decorated high school athlete in Louisiana. He's from Lafayette, Louisiana. Had scholarship offers to play linebacker at Louisiana State University, Michigan State, and Mississippi State, but elected to wrestle instead.
Frank, what do you think of the improvements you're seeing here in Cormier's striking, putting together some crisp combinations, leading with the jabs, and very patient?
Very patient, very centered now. Used to be really leaning forward in that wrestling stance. And this is enabling him to kick now, because now he's got his body in the center that can flow.
And the cut on the top of Monson's head. Very deep left hook getting through Cormier.
Monson's doing a pretty good job of moving around, but he's still kind of walking into the power off and on. Switching stance is helping him. He's mixing up the target a little bit.
Daniel Cormier very relaxed. Left hook, right hand. Knee. As he steps up. And is it surprising, Frank, that Cormier has not tried to get this fight to the ground with this wrestling background?
I don't think he'll take this fight to the ground. I think he'll stand up and box.
Yeah, I think exactly. He's enjoying too much of a comfort zone here on the stand-up. And Monson's just staying in the pocket, not, coming in at angles or he's backing up straight. Good back for Cormier. No takedown attempts whatsoever. And 34 out of 34 power strikes landed by Cormier. Just 2 power strikes landed by Monson. That really was the story of the opening 5 minutes. Frank, how'd you score that round?
I got it all for Cormier. What concerned me about Monson is him telling us, I don't think I can take him down. There's no way I can take him down.
And he hasn't tried.
But it's like, he's got to try. He's got to at least go for it. Because on that takedown, he can jump to guard. He can do his wrestling game. He can't do his submission game on his feet.
I like the diversity Cormier is showing in his combinations and kicks.
Cormier, so relaxed and confident in the cage.
And he's got good head movement. Look at him measuring now, reaching out.
A lot of velocity on those kicks as Monson swings wildly.
And there you see Cormier's done his homework. Monson was on his back. Cormier not going after him. Cormier seems to be in better shape as well physically. Seems to have tightened up around the middle. And there is some talk that maybe one day, he said it himself, maybe it goes down to 205, but he's got a lot of things to do still at heavyweight.
Cormier wanted to make this a showcase for himself, especially with all the great heavyweights in action tonight.
He's only had to go the distance one in his short MMA career once, and that was in his last fight. Conditioning has never been a problem.
Looping right hand, landing on the side of the head for Monson as he tries to drive Cormier onto the cage.
Don't cut the cage, Daniel. Don't cut the cage.
He needs to fight for hand control here. Cormier needs to get that hand control back and or slip himself out to the side and get back in that boxing position.
Ooh, nice right hand as they break by Monson. Cormier comes back.
I mentioned Monson's won 26 fights via submission. His last submission victory came against a Canadian fighter by the name of Lee Meehan, a good friend of mine who suffered a personal loss this week. My thoughts and prayers are with the Meehan family in Canada.
American Airlines Center here in Dallas, Texas. Daniel Cormier in black. The two-time Olympic wrestler Jeff Monson, veteran mixed martial artist, in gray. 3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. Good jab by Monson. Right hand, left hook as Cormier comes back.
One of the things that Cormier is doing well is when he throws punches, he's moving his head out of the way at the same time.
And it's interesting how quickly he responds because Monson, as Gus has mentioned, is sticking that jab but unable to follow up. And Cormier immediately counters with a flurry of punches. No single shots, putting together the combinations.
Daniel Cormier has faced so much adversity in his life, losing loved ones.
And yet now celebrating the birth of his son Daniel, showing us pictures at the fighter meetings, and you couldn't ask for a more down-to-earth, humble person, and what a great ambassador, as so many fighters in MMA are. Daniel Cormier, just a class act, as is, Jeff Monson. Say what you will about his political beliefs. He's a tremendous grappler, tremendous fighter, and a tremendous teacher, Frank.
Yeah, a wonderful guy. He loves teaching. He loves giving back, and he loves teaching people MMA. And the positive attributes of MMA. Condition your body. Get your mind right. Get your community together. That's what really helped Cormier, was having those Olympic wrestlers. They pulled him out. He said wrestling saved his life and saved him.
And MMA saved your life, Frank.
It did. Amen to that.
119 remaining in the second round, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Daniel Cormier has been the aggressor from the very beginning. Great body shot by Cormier. Monson very well conditioned to take some of the punishment that he's been taking in this fight with 1 minute to go in the second round.
Cormier's starting to loosen up his hips now and get those kicks going. I like that body kick he was landing.
Ooh, lead right hand gets through for Cormier.
This has been a very technically precise performance by Cormier. Maybe not the most exciting right now, but for a guy at this stage of his career, Frank, facing a guy with so much more experience, so many tools when it comes to the ground game, Cormier showcasing his striking. What more would you like to see out of him if this goes to the third round?
I mean, the only thing I would add at this point because I think he can do a lot of damage from his ability to control that clinch with his elbows. Monson's starting to fatigue a little bit.
Last 10, gents.
The end of the second round. Cormier very dominant in the first 2 rounds. And when you look at him, Frank, he kind of has a Fedor Emelianenko type body.
He does. He doesn't. He ain't a big rocked up stud, but he's throwing bombs out there.
He even mentioned that even though he walks around at 240, he wouldn't be opposed to going down to 205 in the future.
A statistic that really stands out after 10 minutes of action. Cormier landing Monson 68-9 in power strikes, according to CompuStrike. And still, through 2 rounds, Frank, not one single takedown attempt.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. Unless someone falls down, I don't think it's happening.
Nice team there delivered by Cormier, of course, a.k.a. Jim, that you helped to found, Frank. What's the philosophy when it comes to striking over at American Kickboxing Academy?
Keep it simple, stay centered, throw combinations, and move your head. That's how you do good, basic striking. Now, Javier Mendez is a wonderful coach because he takes your body according to how it works and it puts the simplicity into striking. Now, Cormier ought to cut off the cage in this one. Try to corner Monson now and get him to get into this, boxing game.
Nice.
Beautiful shot.
Followed. The straight right hand got through as well. Oh, another left hook, and that staggers Monson. Daniel Cormier has some quick hands.
Monson has to know he's down in the scorecards, and I'm surprised that he's staying in the pocket.
Oh, straight right hand again. Monson in trouble. Backpedaling, blood coming out of his mouth there.
Finally, look at him. He's just sucked off. There's no denying Daniel Cormier is running Monson in this fight.
Excuse me, Marl. With 3:13 to go in the third and final round, Daniel Cormier trying to finish Jeff Monson.
And one feather in his cap, that would be.
Frank, you have to be impressed with Cormier's hand speed, his fluidness, his reflexes, and his combinations of both punching and kicking.
He's just really grown as an MMA fighter. And I can say even more so, I was impressed just who he is as a person. He really touched me when he came in and shared that about his family and all the trials he had, and seeing a sports psychologist said he used to cry and break down between training sessions.
5 of his 7 wins have come inside the first round. There could be a method to this madness. Maybe he wants to get the experience. Maybe he wants to get the cage time in, Frank, and that's why he's being so methodical, so patient, and just looking to pick apart the veteran here tonight.
Well, Jeff Monson is no joke, and he's had a lot of wars.
Cormier trying to shoe shine.
Strafing his body with a nice combination.
Left hook, right hand. Monson trying to grab a leg, can't. Nice sprawl by Cormier, and he'll back up and make the veteran get back on his feet with 1:50 to go.
Monson was known as a snowman, name given to him by Enzo Gracie when he went through 4 Brazilians, winning the 1999 Abu Dhabi submission wrestling. Right now, he is melting due to the improved striking of Daniel Cormier. And let's face it, Monson is a tough out. 11 losses, he's only been stopped 4 times in his career.
Monson's a stud. I think Cormier goes to some elbows here. That's the one thing he hasn't added is some elbows.
Let's work it, gents. Let's work it.
There's a nice knee to the midsection by Cormier.
Watch your fingers.
1 minute remaining in the third and final round. Whoa. Cormier using that great strength.
And that was scored as a takedown for Cormier. Monson 0 for 2 in the takedown department in this fight.
The coming out party, Daniel Cormier, and he has looked terrific.
Nice 1-2 leg kick. Just beautiful striking.
switching stances again. Right on the chin.
Monson picking it up, trying to chase him down. He's still in this game, man.
And that's it. What a performance by Daniel Cormier. He wanted to showcase his talents here in Dallas as this heavyweight Grand Prix Strikeforce tournament continues. He did just that tonight. And we'd like to welcome the men and women serving around the world watching tonight's broadcast in 175 countries on AFN, the American Forces Network. Thanks for all you do.
And I can't tell you enough, Gus, going to airports and all the cities across America, the soldiers that talk about MMA, we really appreciate everything they do.
Well, it was all about the striking of Daniel Cormier. Look at that right hand tipping the chin of Monson and the left hook. Finding his range. Cormier, once he found his range, he's dipping him shoulders. And as the rounds went on, look, he's moving his head, he's touching the punches and coming right back. He talked about wanting to stay in the pocket, feeling confident with his punches, and it shows right here. I mean, moving the head, counter, rolling the shoulders. This is beautiful. Straight punches. This is what I was hoping to see from Daniel Cormier. Finding that center, and he wanted nothing to do with the ground.
His toolbox continues to grow.
Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. in the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges scoring about the same, 30-27 in favor of the winner and still undefeated, Dan